Hello and welcome back, it's me Red. So in this episode what I'm going to focus on is basically tier 1 to tier 3 style of gameplay, because at that point they've changed it. So at the moment now, when you go from tier 1 to tier 3 you go against the AI only. When you then go to after tier 3, so tier 4 onwards, you then play against humans. And you just basically click this little button. If you can look here, I can click against vs humans, but I can't play against humans. It's physically not allowed until tier 3 unit is selected. So sorry, from tier 3 onwards. So tier 1 and tier 2 units can't. Tier 3 onwards can. So we're going to focus on pretty much tier 1 and tier 2. How to start, how to pick, what units to pick, pair, what to look for per character. And the only reason I'm going to choose um, Vercingetorix. Yeah, that one. The only reason I'm going to choose him is because he's the only commander I've just unlocked who is of a low enough tier to demonstrate this. Because as you can see, tier 4, tier 5s, tier 4s/3. Oh yeah, I got Scipio. I can also demonstrate it with Sulla because I've also got Sulla now as well. I will do a character rundown because the only person I'm missing is Boudica and Alexander the Great, and Carthage has Drupal. Yeah, I'll go with that. They're the only ones I'm missing now, so I've only got 3 characters that I'm missing. Everyone else I have. These being my highest, so Leonidas is nearly tier 6, but again, we'll run through that in a different episode. This episode we will focus primarily on tier 1 units, what to look for, what to pick, and then in the next video, because I won't go to tier 2 because it's exactly the same as tier 1 pretty much, so I'm not going to show you what tier 2's like unless I get there within this episode, in this video, after the battle. But the battle for tier 1 will be in the next video. But first of all, I just want to show you what you're looking for within the tier 1 characters when you pick a character and stuff like that. So what you're faced with is obviously you're faced with 4 different nations to start off with. However, when you first enter the game, Carthage will not be unlocked to you because you need to save your free experience, which is here at the top. As you can see, I have 2,206 of it at the moment, but that's what you need to save. You need to save that up because both of these characters are worth 7,600 free experience to unlock them. So Carthage, you can basically forget about Carthage because it will not be unlocked for you. In terms of the Greek characters, Shinane is the first character you will get for free. So you unlock, you have Shinane for free. She is the unit, or the character that you will start off with within the Greek sort of family. So other than that, Militades is, I'm pretty sure, he's not that expensive. I think he's about 2,000 experience, somewhere around there. Leonidas is a bit more expensive, so he's 4,400 free experience, and then you go on to obviously Alexander the Great being 7,600 or 2,500 gold if you have gold. Gold, don't forget, you have to buy with your own money, so just bear that in mind. However, on some occasions, like I have, for example, I've not bought any of this gold. For example, I've got it through basically leveling up my own character, essentially. That's how I've got the gold there. Roman characters, you start off with Germanicus. Julius Caesar's 4,400. Scipio and Sulla are both 7,600 each. I'm pretty sure they both. Sulla definitely is. Scipio, I'm not 100% sure on, but I'm pretty sure he's pretty high. So just bear that in mind. Again, you won't have them until you get the free XP to get them. Julius Caesar is the next one up though, so he's only 4,400. I know that for a fact. But you do start out with Germanicus. In terms of the barbarians, you start off with Arminius, and then Vercingetorix, if that's how you say it. I've just bought him. He was he 4,400 as well? He might have been 4,400 as well, and then obviously you got Boudica, who's 7,600. So it's steadily progressing. But as you can see, so when you hover over the character, this tells you about the character. So if you go in the information, as we're playing as this guy, we'll talk about him. So we'll talk about the information first. So on the information, it tells you who they are, where they came from, why they're in the game, basically, how they're a historical person within this game, of basically a historical general. That's what they basically were. Why they've been put in the game as a historical character. And this gives you all the details on them, all the history and everything. So you can read this if you want to. But going on from that, so you then get to the abilities side of it. So at the moment, every character has a tier 1 ability, a tier 3 and a tier 5 that you obviously unlock when the character reaches them levels. So as you can see on this bar here, so 1 to 2. So if I wanted to progress him faster than just playing tier 1 games, you can. Use free XP again. It will cost 560 experience to get him to tier 2. And obviously it will then go up every time you go up. So for example, in comparison to say a tier 4 unit or a tier 3 unit. Yeah, just no. So Scipio, for example, if I wanted to tier him from tier 3 to tier 4, you're looking at 3,320. So that's a good example there. So obviously I'm not going to do that because I want to show you one of the battles with his units. So, but his first unit, this general has capabilities, is Iron Discipline. So it frees your unit morale so that it doesn't fall any further, and as you can see, it makes them unbreakable. That's what that does. It lasts for a duration of 10 seconds, and its cooldown is 120 seconds, and obviously it's self-acting on the units with, your units. So that's what that does. So it's very good in that sense. Tier 3 you obviously unlock. So this is Scorched Earth. So targets the ground, affects all units, duration's 3 seconds, area of effect is 9 meters, targeting range is 30 meters. So that means you can be within 30 meters away from the enemy unit or the ground that you want to target, and you can target that ground. And what it'll do is a missile block chance is -30. So that's not too bad. It's basically that is throwing the fire sticks. If you've seen on the other videos, that's what that is. So Defiance, obviously tier 5. Won't really go much into these. You can stop and read it if you really want to. I'll hold it up there for 3, 2, 1. There we go. So that's all the abilities. So then you got to then think. Obviously, being a tier 1, you then got to think what type of unit you go for. For example, if you click on them as a tier 1 barbarian leader, you can go for riders or tribesmen. So how do you know which one to go for? Like, what do you pick? Do you go for riders with this guy if you want to go horses, or should you go tribesmen with this guy? How do you know? So if you go to the character himself and you hover over him, you can see just underneath where the faction he's in, so barbarians, you can see a specialty. That specialty has a sword. So it's little square and a sword. That's what specialty units they hold. So the sword means, the square means a sword unit or infantry unit, and then specially it means an infantry unit which has a sword. So, and the difficulty of this character to play is pretty easy, as you can see there. So straight away you know to then go for tribesmen. With tribesmen, if you click them, so what you can do when you get to like tier 2, stuff like that, because sometimes it bugs out at the bottom, you just basically click them, drag them into the slots that you want them to be in, and they'll take over them slots. Another thing is harass with this character. So this is it's not an ability, but it's something that these units specifically can then do. So for example, if you click the horse units, they have this ability. So this is a unit ability. basically. So that's what they can do, is harass. So if you click on the units themselves, they don't start off with these. Obviously, I have the free XP to unlock these straight away. So you would start off with these 5 things for free, because it's the first unit, and then you would have to then progress onto the better sword, better shield, and then get 1,000 XP on this unit to then unlock Woodsman, which is tier 2 swords units basically. And obviously every tier you go up, they get progressively more, like, better, stronger, faster, more well armored, or better attack and stuff like that. So obviously, but then that's the same with most games. When you level up, you'll get better and better as units as you go on. So that's how you find out about him. The other thing you can do is you go to tech tree, and then you can see well in advance which way you want to go down the tech tree, where to go, how to get there, what units to go for, what units to use. So for example, if I wanted to get Orth Sword, which is the most heavily armored barbarian unit you can get. That is correct. No, they're not the most heavily. Yeah, they are. Yeah, so they're the most heavily armored swords units you can get with the barbarians. But they have, obviously, as you can see by their stats, they have really good attack, really good defense, really good health, or in comparison, they have really good health, and then speed's pretty good as well. Like overall, it's not as good as some of them, but overall, it's not too bad. The barbarian units do tend to be faster running than say like the Roman units. So if you go to Germanicus, for example, go to the tier 10, you can go to any of these. So Palatines, so speed 360, but their armor values are insane, and their health is generally higher. So that's 658, and then even 690 armor is, these units are they're built for armor and defensive and stuff like that. Greek units, their defense, because of the phalanx and the spear, is absolutely, you can't beat them in defense. But then their aggression slash attack is lackluster, to say the least. So it's not too bad to be a barbarian, to be honest, because they're quite fast in comparison to the other units. So Orth Sword, but then you have different types of units as well within the actual branch. So you can obviously, as you can see here, you go down the swords, and look, you got Falksman. So this is a different type, even though it would be better to go down this tree with the lead that I currently am, because he specializes in that tree. But there's no reason why you can't go to this tree, for example, and then go down the Falksman line. And if you look at the tier 10s, their attack is insane. They lack on the defense and the health, but their attacking ability or aggression ability is like better than any other unit. Literally better than any other unit. They are an anti-infantry cutting down unit. They butcher other infantry units. That is the point of them. And then you've got dogs, which is what our lady friend here specializes in, for example. So you would go down here, and then you'd veer up to dogs, and you'd go down war dogs with hare, for example, if you wanted to stay within hare specialty. But you can go with anyone. It doesn't matter who you go with. You can even go archers with some of them. It really doesn't matter. You just don't get the specialty ability off them, because you're not working within their specialties. Not only that, so that's the tech tree. You then have the abilities button right next to the armies at the top left of the screen, and this is how you progress and level up your different abilities within your character. So for example, each tier has different abilities, and as you can see, you unlock it, and you unlock that one at the tiers that they specify, and then you work through this tree as well. So when I get to tier 2, for example, the Iron Discipline, you then duration, you can level her up 4 times, and it basically just adds a second each time. So plus is 1 for every level, most likely, it'll do for every level. So by the time you leveled it all the way up, it'll be plus 4 seconds active time, which would mean this then lasts for 14 seconds, not 10 seconds. And then again, so active time again, so that's got 3 levels, so plus 2 seconds. Again, it'll plus it on. They all accumulate as well, so this will then last even longer, and then you got melee defense again all the way up in percentages, positive, and you can see what I mean, and it heads all the way to the end. Missile damage and melee attack and yada yada yada. This is all done through free experience though, so bear that in mind. You cannot use your unit experience unless you're using your gold to transfer it to free experience. You have to save up your free experience to do these abilities. As you can see, I've had Leonidas and I've got him to he's level 5 at the moment, nearly level 6. But as you can see, these abilities are not full at all. I haven't put much into these abilities because I'm trying to unlock all the characters first. When you unlock all the characters, it's a lot easier to then save up the free experience, to then go back and then fill out the rest of their abilities. So as you can see, I got 1 in some of them, you know what I mean? So it's not too bad, but I would focus on unlocking the characters that you specifically want first, then go back and then upgrade their abilities to make them stronger and stronger. That's what I would advise to do first, because there's no point in, if you want a specific character, then there's no point of upgrading a character you're only using at the time being to get to the character that you specifically want. I've unlocked pretty much all of them nearly. I've only got 3 to go, but I've unlocked all of them due to the fact that I want to show you all the different types of characters, and I want to show you what to do with the different characters and what type of units they offer and how they offer them. So that's going to conclude the first episode. This is going to be a little 2-part sort of thing. So it's first episode, and then I'll show you the second one, which will come straight after anyway. And it'll be a bit of gameplay on how to use this type of unit, when to use their abilities, what you're looking for. Bearing in mind, obviously, this is for complete noobs to the game, so just bear that in mind across the board. If you're not new to the game, this video, it might help you a little bit with choices and selection of units, but it most likely won't because you already know what you're doing. So just bear that in mind. If you're looking for more of the gameplay, don't worry, more gameplay will be coming tomorrow. In tomorrow's video, today being Tuesday, what the date is it? Tuesday the 3rd of April. So I will be publishing these today, and then tomorrow, which will be the 4th, Wednesday the 4th of April, they will be more content for the normal people that play the game the more regularly. And yeah, that's basically how this week's going to roll. But yeah, so thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.